I'll tell you what, folks, sometimes the bigger, longer, lankier fighter who has more tools in under his tool belt doesn't get the win. And that's what we saw this week, man. Henry Corrales used his veteran experience, man. Listen, I'll tell you the name of the game right here, AJ, brother. Corrales, he was faster. He had more power under his shots. He was more of a dog. He was able to walk forward more. He was able to do everything better than Aiden Lee in this one. And I think that Corrales dropping Lee in the opening seconds of this bout really made Aiden Lee say, oh, okay, let's reevaluate this game. You know what I mean? This is a dangerous game I'm playing. I got to be very tactical. I have to be very tentative on my entry. I want to use my long straight shots, get that body kick working. That body kick was a thing of beauty. However, he was never really able to get the fight to the ground and utilize his jiu-jitsu, which was the reason why I picked him, because I thought he was a little more fundamental there. Henry Corrales did a great job. However, AJ, we got to talk about it. The fight ends so weirdly, right? Corrales pokes Aiden Lee in the eye. 2 rounds have already passed. The right man won. Corrales absolutely was going to win that fight. I had him up 2-0 going into the third and winning. It's hard to say winning because Aiden Lee just did come out hot in the beginning of the third. But the point is, does it feel right to see Henry Corrales, hands raised, all happy after poking a dude in the eye and he can't continue? And it's just weird, right? What do you think of that? What do you make of it?
It was definitely weird. Aiden Lee was in there saying that he got poked 3 different times in the eye. I only saw the one. I didn't really catch the other one. I didn't know what he was talking about. Walking away, shaking his head like he thought he won that fight. I had the right guy winning. Maybe not. Maybe he shouldn't have been as excited, but he looked a little. It's unclimactic or anticlimactic, or just not as fulfilling as a win we expected to be. Henry Cross was whooping that ass, but Aiden Lee came out in that third and was really starting to get things going. I think he was just a little surprised. I mean, at the end of the day, I agree. The right guy won. It's just a little unfulfilling in the fact of how it went. Definitely a sad or a regretful instance for Lee. Maybe not regretful. It's not a good word to use. But either way, I think it's a hard one, man. It's a hard win, hard loss. You didn't really get any closure on this one. I think Aiden Lee was very surprised by getting dropped in that first round, and that's why he really started to utilize that lateral movement, bouncing around a lot, basically staying on the outside the whole time, where Corrales was just trying to cut off the cage. Definitely think that's why the judges gave it to him. And some of them even gave him the third round. So I agree, Derek. He might have been winning that first or that third one. I had Lee kind of coming out like a sandstorm on that third round, so I gave him the third. But either way, I think the right guy won.
Yeah, man, it was interesting because I do think it was 2 30-27s and 1 29-28 for, I don't know. Listen, I just thought that Corrales, he was kind of beating the brakes off of Lee, and in a weird way too, because it's not like the damage was super accumulative, but Aiden Lee was on his bike. He was like, I got to move. I cannot be a stationary target against this man. So it was a big win for Henry Corrales, man. The hand speed was beautiful. The power was beautiful. Cutting off the cage, takedown defense, initiating a little bit of wrestling himself. It was all beautiful. But like I said, it's just weird to me when the eye poke happens and then you start talking, like you said, you start being like, oh, I got eye poked a bunch of times. Well, it's like, well, okay, but you're still losing, like, very definitively. Either way, when we're looking at the MMA Decisions, which is a website that I love to use, yeah, man, everybody has it in favor of Henry Corrales. There's no controversy here, folks. But big win by Henry Corrales, man. And interesting, man, he moves to 8-6 in his Bellator career, so he's kind of moving back up that, above 500. First win streak that he has put together since 2019, back when he went on a 5-fight win streak.